you can take. And here we are tonight. My name's Philip Holmes. I'm from Philip Holmes Media. You are on Every Child Matters movement throughout Canada. And the reason for being on here and the reason for being right in front of you live is because I wanted to come on here and I wanted to say that this is getting off the ground, and this is getting off the ground like you wouldn't believe. I am CEO, I am founder, not co-founder, founder of Philip Holmes Media. That's me. There can only be one Philip Holmes. Only can be one. Now I'm here in Winnipeg, Manitoba, Canada, and I'm shouting out to every one of my brothers and sisters right across the land, right across Canada. I need your support. I need the support for the Every Child Matters movement. I need your ideas, your fresh ideas. I need your likes, comments, hit that notification bell, and let's get this movement started. Because the mainstream media, the media right across Canada don't care, and the other half are racist. That's why we're seeing absolutely nothing on the media throughout Canada about the mass graves and about our little ancestors being pulled from the graves and the holes in the ground. The Canadian College of Bishops, they're apologizing, but I say a little, too late. They are apologizing. The Oblates will never apologize. The Canadian government, they will never apologize. The Canadian government are the ones who thought up Indigenous affairs, and Indigenous affairs was brought on by racism, just like the RCMP. That's why I'm here right now as founder of Philip Holmes Media, to ask for your assistance, to ask for your help. In this dire need that we all seek and we all look for reconciliation with each other, with our family members, with our ancestors that died way too soon, that were in residential school. Residential schools right across this land, right across Canada, that people say, oh, we're so patriotic, and oh, Canada this and oh, Canada that, when there's nothing but a big smear of doubt and racism right across this spectrum, right across Canada. And it's okay. They think it's okay. This is what's going on, and this is acceptable. It's not acceptable. That's why I thought up Philip Holmes Media. That's why I thought up, let's add another Every Child Matters movement to this ever-growing spectrum, that we need this kind of support. We need to support each other through love and through reconciliation, because we know what needs to be done. The Canadian government and the churches right across Canada, they don't know. And they don't care. They don't care about our cause. They don't care about our ancestors. They don't care that they tried to wipe us off the face of the earth. And might I add, because they failed. The churches and the religion failed to wipe us off the planet. The government failed to wipe us off the planet. We are still here. That means we are survivors. We are warriors. Something that we're going to pass on to our great-grandchildren. And I keep on saying this, and I'm going to say it again until you're sick and tired of hearing me say it. We have these devices. We have these devices to push on into the future, to push on to the next generations that are coming, to watch us. Our ancestors saying, hey, look at what they started. Look at this movement that they started. Some of them were residential school survivors. Some of them were intergenerational residential school survivors like I am. My great-grandmother was in residential school before Canada was even a country. It's why I always stand with each and every one of you across Canada. In the next coming weeks, I'm going to be getting Every Child Matters movement flag. There is a native-owned, Aboriginal, Indigenous-owned shop in Winnipeg where I am. This is where I bought it. And yes, all proceeds go to the residential school survivors. But that is a big, massive flag. It's $21. As you run up a flagpole, I don't have a flagpole outside my property, but I do have nails, thumbtacks, and I will be putting that flag either in my window, in my front window for everyone to see, or on my wall to show each and every one of my brothers and sisters out there that I support you. I am so glad, and I found out yesterday, 24 hours ago. I'm so glad and stoked that I am able to have this conduit to go on live on all my YouTube channels. One channel, not channels. Oh, going on live. I tell you, I mean, you're going to have mishaps and bloopers. This should be for the blooper reel. And when that kind of stuff happens, it throws me for a loop because I have ADD, attention deficit disorder, fetal alcohol syndrome, and all that lovely stuff passed down to me through the generations. My mother was in residential school, my birth mother. I met her in 2001 in Vancouver, British Columbia, Canada. That's where I'm from. And I've been already on 7 minutes too long. The most watched videos that I have up are only 12 to 15 seconds, and that's how long you guys watch. So I do hope that each and every one of you watch this content. Like I said, I'm very grateful and very honored to have this platform to bring to each and every one of you about the Every Child Matters movement, as I support it, and I support it to my last breath. My son, my beautiful boy, made this YouTube channel possible 5 years ago. And 5 years later, it took me to this point right now to where I can go on live and reach a better demographic, especially when it comes to the Every Child Matters movement. I am a loving parent. I am a loving son. Right now, at the age of 50, I stay with my 80-year-old mother, and last night there was a mishap outside, party down the street, and it scared her something awful. And when you stay with a parent or a family member, and you see the kind of, I saw the her being frightened in front of me, and it took a whole new perspective that if anybody came through that door or anybody came through that window, that they would be dealing with me, 250-pound angry son. And when you put that kind of stuff into perspective when it comes to family, and you think about the attitude and values with the Canadian government, think tanking, Indian affairs, And the Canadian government creating the RCMP out of racism, that right in, I keep on wanting to say the Constitution, it's not the Constitution, right in Indigenous Affairs, it states that we are things to the Canadian government. We're not human. And you hear our leader, Justin Trudeau, saying that he would do anything to protect his family. Yet it states in the Indigenous Affairs, the Native people are things to the Canadian government. But yet he wants to protect his children. How is that not racist? How is that not racism? When the Indigenous Affairs was thought up by racists, the RCMP were created through racism. Canadian Catholic Church or bishops don't care about you. They don't care about me. They're apologizing to make themselves look better. To say, we are better than the Canadian government. We took the first step in reconciliation, and it makes us look good in the eyes of God. They don't care about the Every Child Matters movement. And all Orange Shirt Day is September 30th is a paid holiday for the government, employees across Canada. They don't care about our movement. They don't care about us. If the Canadian government cared about us and didn't care about a paid holiday on September 30th, Orange Shirt Day, they would absolve Indigenous Affairs. And in case anybody out there is wondering if they absolved Indigenous Affairs, that means the Canadian government would have to admit to racism. And then, and only then, the rightful people for prosecution would step in and charge the Canadian government with crimes against humanity. That is the only thing that the Canadian government has to fall back on, is Indigenous Affairs. Because in Indigenous Affairs, it states, again, as I said this 4 times before, and I'll say it again, the Indigenous people of Canada are things to the Canadian government. That's why it's so easy to be racist. I know that not everybody out there in Canada is racist. I understand that. I understand right from wrong. And how wrong it was for the Canadian government to create Indigenous Affairs. And how wrong it was for the Canadian government to create the RCMP. Which brings me to my next statement, my next sentence, which is so important, that the elders across Canada think that the Canadian government is paying the RCMP to kidnap our sisters across Canada and sell them into sex slavery in foreign countries. They're paying the RCMP, our Indigenous sisters, kidnapping them legally and selling them into sex slavery in foreign countries. How is that not racist? So I ask this on being here for 14 minutes already. My brothers and sisters, I ask you to comment in the comment section below. Watch my videos. Subscribe to my channel. as we push forward, each and every one of us, for the search for truth and justice for our people. Each and every one of us was put on this earth for a reason. Let's find that reason together. I am Philip Holmes. I am from Winnipeg, Manitoba, Canada. I am from TikTok. I am from Facebook, Instagram, right here on YouTube, Philip Holmes Media. Thank you for joining me. Thank you for being here on this Sunday afternoon.